HodgePodge Records exclusive.
Hey now.
Know what I mean? See what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Hear what I'm saying? See what I mean? Know what I'm saying?
So, say my name.
Brady's HodgePodgecast.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to HodgePodgecast episode 9. It seems to be working for me this time. I'm doing it all, whenever I do it, and it's working.
No
I'm not
rhyme or
relying.
reason.
I know. I'm not relying on anybody. I'm just kind of doing it. So,
That's why.
as you can see, the number of people just keep growing in here, and you remember Mike from actually the last episode.
Yeah, episode 8, yeah.
And today we're joined by JC
Howdy.
and Greg or Gregory.
Gregory.
Were we going with Gregory?
Gregory.
Like
Moxie and Rebel. Yeah. It's like a Williamsport thing up here. It's gotta be.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah.
Well, no, wait a minute. I have to adjust my pinky.
Busting on us.
Yeah.
Killing us up here, man.
No.
So what's up, guys?
Oh, man.
Chilling?
Enjoying
the
this.
weather?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, this global cooling.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I left Nashville, 2 weeks ago, and it literally was 57 degrees. They think it's the apocalypse down there. Because normally it's in the mid-90s.
Yeah.
And you're dying.
Right.
And it's actually cold. So yeah, I'm hoping for the weather to change and get a little warmer.
Yeah,
I brought it here.
the winter was unusually cold.
It was frigid.
But yet Al Gore still tells us that we're global warming.
Global warming, baby. It's coming.
So Mike, as you know, is from Moxie Rebel. Gregory over here is from Daniel Miles and Happy Hour, who was like 3 podcasts ago, me and Dan. This is the drummer of Daniel Miles and Happy Hour, and also the drummer of Syllabus. Is that what it is? Syllabus?
Currently, yes, at the moment.
Syllabus, okay. But and JC here is the drumtacs man.
The man.
Cool.
And Scorpio Marketing, right?
Correct.
Is
Yep.
that- So what do you do in Scorpio Marketing?
Scorpio actually turned into, it was kind of funny because I formed the company literally to get drumtacs out, just to have a company to put everything under one nice little name, and just as it grew and the relationships grew and I started to meet more drummers and then meet more drummers that are just not drummers but are businessmen at the end of the day, and it seems the common core is everybody is a drummer first, but then they have their second and third and fourth, like everybody has this extra plan that they're doing on the side.
Right.
Yeah.
And it started to be where we started to get a few of the drummers reaching out to help them do events and projects, and kind of one thing led to another. And in the last 6 months, I've taken on 2 partners, both based in Nashville. Jimmy Elcock, who is Jamie Lynn Spears' drummer and band leader, and Lee Gamilla, who's a graduate of Loyola with a music business degree, and he's the tour manager currently for Logan Mize, who's firing up the charts down in Nashville.
Nice.
Just to handle the overflow of, we have 3 drummers that we represent, that we do clinics, we do pretty much everything as far as a drum clinic, like what you would see in your basic drum shop,
Yeah.
all the way up to like Rich Redman for Jason Aldean. He's been with him 19 years. He does corporate events. So I handle all of that stuff right now, where we just did Hershey Park, 150 of their employees before the actual Aldean show that night. He came in and did a 90-minute clinic. And
Now, I'm curious about that, because why would 150 Hershey Park employees want a drum clinic?
And it's amazing because it started off with he would do drum clinics, and he literally turned himself into a corporate motivational life kind of coach.
Okay, so it wasn't just like a drum clinic.
It's
it was
amazing. He uses percussion, which he has his kit there. He's got a cajon. He's got stuff from El Pitoca, just hand, percussive, whatever. But he crafts his whole presentation around an acronym called CRASH, which is commitment, relationships, and he actually teaches. You could be a drummer, you could be a guitar player, singer, you could be in corporate America running, craft foods. Right. It's all curtailed to motivating yourself to get to that next level, how to do it, how to be, not necessarily exceptional in everything you do, but how to have that mentality when you get up in the morning.
Like the hunger.
Yeah, exactly, which is one of the CRASH
Attitude,
acronyms.
Skill, and hunger. Yeah.
That's called just taking something that you have and just broadening.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's nuts.
It's amazing.
He's doing really good with it now.
Wow.
I've watched him over the last
He's
2
awesome.
years. Like, the first one I ever went to was literally no BS, side of the road in New Jersey. I'm gonna show Rich this, and he's gonna laugh. But we went down to see him in New Jersey. There was a highway and a guitar center. He was in the parking lot with the DW educational van that turns into a stage.
Yep.
And he was doing his crash course for maybe 10 kids and their parents.
Wow.
There's semis going behind the thing. Like, he's trying to talk and do his thing, and it's like, like back and forth. And I was literally like, but it was amazing to sit there and watch these kids literally. They went there, I bet you, thinking, oh, here's going to be a, Jason Aldean's drummer. He's going to rip through these songs and blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And literally all of them are sitting on the edge of their chair because he's teaching them about the value of education and having a plan and not, if you got to have the hunger to go for what you want. But at the end of the day, this is how you need to do it a certain way. And he was teaching them literally, and it could have been a bunch of 6th graders going into science. Like, it doesn't matter what the product is at the end
Talk
of the
about
day.
out of the box.
I know.
I mean, that's thinking out of the box.
Yeah. But then Scorpio, like I said, now we're doing a couple of roundtables at NAMM this year with other drummers. We're doing a bass event. We've branched out now into not specifically just drummers, but
well, I know someone who might go to NAMM.
Yeah. Everybody has to go once in their life.
Well,
that is the experience, man.
Time. It definitely is.
If I get an invite from drumtacs, I might go. But so drumtacs, I mean, you're blowing up right now. I mean, you're in what? Sam Ash now, Amazon. Like you're really getting good distribution. It seems. Not to mention, you're posting all these pictures at drumtacs, DRUMTACS, on Instagram, and I mean, like the drummers that are using them and posting about them are huge drummers.
Yeah.
And I wasn't, I wasn't sure because I used that other stuff that we don't talk about,
It's all good.
No. But I used that, and you just came over and you were like, oh, and you threw a tack on my snare, and I have a Brady snare because my name's Brady. It only fits that I should have a Brady snare.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to get the sound out of it that I wanted to for so long, and it seems like without something on it, it kind of there was too much of a ring. And then with the stuff we don't speak of, it was kind of just dead, honestly. When you threw that tack on there,
it was incredible.
Full.
Yeah.
Just full the sound that I've been looking for. So drumtacs.
Yeah.
Crazy.
4.5 years, Christian Beaulieu, my partner, he owns the patent. The patent went through. We actually physically have the patent in hand now. It's a technology patent. We're actually going for the second half of that right now, which is more of a use type of a patent, which gives us a little bit of a broader range to how we can use it. But as of right now, we're the only patented polymer on the market right now that doesn't create a dead spot, and that's kind of what
doesn't.
Not just other products, but gel polymers, just all of them in general, or tape, or just weight in general.
Socks.
Well, I've seen everything. I've seen everything.
This kid, you should see this kid's kit. It's like tape. It's like electrical taped up with socks and
not gonna lie. It's
but you know what though? But at the end of the day, you use what works for you.
Yeah.
And the way that I envision marketing this product is not to eradicate everything that's out there. This is another tool.
Yeah.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, we have a lot of things that you can use this one tool in a variety of different ways, where you might need a gel polymer before, or a weight, or a sock, or a piece of wood. I mean, we've seen everything. But what Christian developed was something that actually, instead of deadening or flattening the tone out or creating a dead spot, it allows some vibration to come into the polymer. So you're controlling the tone. You're not deadening out the overtone or the ring. You're basically just now controlling how much of that you want to pull in or let out.
Well, it works.
The better you tune, and your drums were tuned amazing.
Yeah.
If it's an amazingly tuned drumtacs are just going to enhance it even more.
Exactly.
If it's a horribly tuned drum, you're going to flatten it out, and it's going to help it a little, but it's not like a cure-all that you don't just slap a tack on there and then all of a sudden you've got a $16,000. It just sounds like But when you know what you're doing, and the beauty of it is 6 years old to all the way up to the touring pros. Everybody's embraced it, and it's become a family now, that's the cool thing I like.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're
It's
here,
neat,
so
it's
I
neat
guess
seeing it on the big stages, but it's even cooler to walk into like Dale's drum shop I walked into in Harrisburg, and literally to see a kid buying a pack like that was like 10 years old.
Did you tell him? Did you say, "Hey"?
Well, it was funny because, as talkative as I am, I'm kind of I'm the guy that kind of stays back against the wall and. I'm not shy. I'll get my picture taken. I love to point at people, as everybody knows. It's always about whoever I'm with.
I do point too.
It's never about me. It's always about who I'm with.
That's right.
But yeah, no. I wound up getting a chance to talk with his dad, and his dad had seen one of the guys. The nice thing is the drum shops that are carrying it, they're not carrying it to sell on the wall. Everybody in the shop's using it. And it's like when you have that kind of. Like, I could go to any guy from a teacher to the kid Alex that was running the internet in the back. They all, or Jesse rather, not Alex. Like, they all not only know about it, they're using it. And it's like, that's kind of been, what's kind of freaks me out still is how widespread this has gone. And we haven't spent $1 on advertising. It's all been word of mouth.
You haven't spent $1 on advertising.
We got Modern Drummer approached us to do the review. Michael Dawson saw him either on Instagram or some social media, reached out, wanted to buy a pack. He used them, loved them, and then he did the review himself, March 2015, half-page review, which kind of really blew us up.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I saw you post about Amazon the other day, and I saw that they run about $20 a pack.
Correct.
And I was like, ooh, that's kind of...
we got that a lot.
It's kind of... But then when you put them on...
Yeah.
Incredible.
It's worth $5 a tack. It
You know
really
what?
is.
You know what? And the funny thing is that it's if you look at what's available on the market right now, it goes from $6 up to the newer gel polymers. Since Moon Gel's patent ran out, there's like 11 gel polymers available right now, and a lot of them are on that are available on Amazon and blah blah blah. And when you factor everything in, it's not that it's a bad product. It's in that price range. You could do 1 pack of drumtacs, you clean them with rubbing alcohol, you literally take care of them, they'll last 12 to 16 months. Easy.
Nice.
They don't melt, they don't collect stick dust, they're cleaner. It's just dollars and cents wise, at the end of the day, that $20 is cheap.
Yeah, it's nothing.
I'm going to tell you a story about heat with one. Okay.
Yeah.
We worked with Daniel Glass a bit ago. A drummer, check him out. I'm sure.
Drumtacs guy.
Yes. Well, I took one of his tacks off the kit when we were at that show, and I just put it in my car.
Yeah.
When I was in Florida, it was like 110. My thing was showing. I pressed the tack, expecting it to just be gooey. No.
Yeah.
So in like 110.
we don't recommend that, by the way.
Right.
But
yeah.
Try not to store them in a hot.
Well, no, I just have it stuck to my car.
So they might never come back off,
man.
Yeah, Daniel, that tack you were missing.
It wasn't his drum kit.
No,
He was
I know.
using.
That was a backline.
But I was just like,
no, wait a minute, that was my tack.
well, it's in my car, and you're not getting it back. Sorry. That tack has a story now.
That's funny.
But yeah. So they do stand up well in heat. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh wow.
We've had drummers play them literally in Texas. We have a lot of guys like Dave Hidalgo Jr. with Social Distortion has their big show is Coachella. That was our first one of those aha moments. Is Dave took a picture standing behind his kit at Coachella with 350,000 people in front of him. And it was like 100 and some degrees. It's out in the desert in like Central California, but right there, right on his tom is like there's a tack right there, and that was the first time, almost 2 years ago.
Wow.
He sent it to me on his cell phone, and it was just I got one of these. Hey, dude, guess where I'm at now? And I looked down and I'm like. And I was like,
there's a drum tack.
I gotta send that to Christian. I was like, I just started to send it around,
Nice.
And it was neat because it was guys like that literally like that network. That's why we haven't spent any money on advertising.
That just blows my mind because I mean, you got major distribution, major drummers using them, and not one cent on advertising.
We jumped the pump. Awesome. We jumped into Australia because of Nashville, because Sleishman Drum Company is represented by Mother Tone down Nashville. Michael Turner and his partner Lee Griffith down there started using tax for their backline company. They're both from Australia. They took a couple packs home with them and introduced them to David and Don Sleishman that owns Sleishman Drum Company in Australia, biggest drum company. They're like the DW of Australia.
Yeah.
Now they're affiliates. They run our drumtacs division in Australia. We just got the Drum Cartel this morning, which is one of the biggest backline companies in New South Wales of Australia.
Wow.
So now, Italy's open. Yeah, we're going to open Latin America and the Caribbean in a couple of months. So yeah,
Isn't Garrett Goodwin doing?
Garrett Goodwin, yeah. Carrie Underwood's drummer is going to be handling.
And in is it the Caribbean?
Caribbean and Latin America.
That's what it was, yeah.
Yep.
So I have a question. You told me you were a car salesman for how many years were
23 years.
And then what made you want to just do this, just be a part of music, the music community? This.
Yeah.
Right?
23 years, dude. Suits and clean shaven and no earrings and all kidding aside, I loved it. I loved the car business.
Yeah.
But Christian and I kind of met after growing up literally next to each other, like literally 2 miles from each other, but he's a little bit younger than me. We knew of each other, never really knew each other, and then a bad situation happened in my life that he just happened to be there, and we kind of connected just being from Schuylkill County originally, and started talking, and then we went golfing one day. And he told me about this thing he was working on.
Is he a chemist?
Yeah.
Is he okay.
Well, he went back to school to become a chemist. He's a session drummer. He played all through life, literally core, drumline, high school, all the way up through college, and now he teaches. He does drum corps and drumline in the Harrisburg area. But he went back to school to learn about polymers, because he was specifically designing this polymer for its application on drums.
Wow.
Just for drum tacs.
Well, that's awesome. Science.
Yes.
For science.
Yeah.
Did you ever think of doing more than just the black, like different colors and stuff like that?
Yeah, we've actually, not only color-wise, but he's got a couple of other products that are in development now that are all drum related. We're looking at some stuff that will have potentially use in like a drum line or core kind of concept. And
because I was noticing, like, I don't know if you've noticed this. I've noticed some artists playing out, like some drummers playing out. They have like the neon felts now on their cymbals and stuff.
Right.
That show up with the LED lighting. It seems like so they know where they're hitting. I don't know if you guys have seen this, but I've seen.
Yeah, there's
a
company
neon
that does. Well, I don't know if they specifically do that, but there's a company called Simpad that all their stuff, like they have like different sizes. They're colored for different types of like a ride or application and stuff like that. But
Retro and Ingo.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's
Shout out
cool
to
though.
those boys.
Because I've never been like on a big stage of a big caliber stage but I assume like it would be hard like to hit some stuff sometimes if like lights are shining in your face, but if you have that like glowing in front of you.
I think a lot of it too, like when the guys get to that stature, it's just all memory. Like it's just
muscle memory, just like
you don't even need the look.
You don't even need the lights.
It's like guys that have like Rich and everybody else who have like pads everywhere and clicks. Like they know exactly where their foot needs to be.
Yeah.
And God bless their techs.
Well, and I was just about to say that, and that's where the techs really shine. Is that like, and I know John Hull. He makes Rich sound exactly like he sounds.
Every
Brian
show.
Hardiswick with like Pop Evil with Chachi. I mean, these guys, they're the guys that I spend the majority of my time with when I'm out on the road.
And that's cool because those are the people really behind the scenes. I mean,
But they know exactly, like Chachi's kit and Rich's kit, and like when Brian or John are setting them up, it's like to the millimeter.
Yeah.
Like when they sit down, that's like there's no 2-inch variance depending on where you're playing at.
Right.
Rich could walk up there, or Chachi could walk in the pitch black, and as soon as he sits down on that throne, he knows where everything is, and it's that precise.
I noticed that too when Rich was doing a song for Soundcheck that the first time he hit it.
Oh, the cymbal.
He's like, John, there's too much play. Boom. He just was like, done. He just knew. He's like, there's just too much play in the cymbal. Just that quick. One hit. He was like, too much play.
Yeah.
And he fixed it. And then it's like you said, it's all memory. After a while, you just get so used to everything being the exact same way.
Yeah.
And like you said, those techs, they know. Like when something's wrong, they look back, they're there, and it's done. And they just make
Give it
their
up
job
for
easy.
techs and producers
Absolutely.
and engineers.
That's what make
If it
all
wasn't
those
for techs, there wouldn't be those big shows.
wonderful prima donna drummers that I love so much sound so good.
Yep, absolutely.
With all the love and respect, they know it. No, they really do, man.
So we're actually going to do
deserve
some
it.
drumtacs kind of demonstrations and stuff like that. So I'll actually show those right here.
Perfect.
Okay guys, so now we're out here in the live room and I'm going to demonstrate for you a little bit of what the drumtacs purpose is. We're going to be demonstrating it on my stainless steel DW Collector Series snare drum here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play a simple beat and you can see exactly what the drum is doing without a drum tack. So, as you can hear, there's a lot of ringing going on in the snare. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take one of our tacks here, and you don't need to, it doesn't take a scientist to be able to use these. You don't have to be like, well, I need to measure exactly where I want to put it. You put it where you think it's going to sound good for you. It's all based upon what sound you're looking for or where it feels comfortable for you. So I typically put it up right around where my logo is on my snare head here, right by the Remo logo. So I'm just going to pop one on here, press it down a little bit, and play the same groove. So right away, you can hear a difference. I can feel a difference. It makes me want to play maybe a little bit differently. And the great thing about these with getting 4 in a pack with the drum tacks, you can get creative with them. You could put 2 on if you wanted to. You can cut them in half. If you think, it's maybe a little too much, you can customize it to any particular sound that you want to hear. And it's really important for me when I use these, if I'm out in a coffee shop or if I'm playing in front of thousands of people, you can control exactly what kind of sound you want to get. If your front of sound engineer, is saying, hey, there's a little too much going on in the snare drum, or if you have it on your toms, get creative with it and slap it on there, and right away you're going to notice a difference, not only with the control, but the tonality of the drum is going to be there. And that's the most important thing about what the drum tacks do, is it lets the drum be the drum. It just controls it just a little bit and doesn't make it have a long of that, whop sound to it where you smack it and it's wah, 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 all the way down through the shell. So if you wanted to put 2 tacks on here, you could throw another one, maybe down where your left hand comes to hit the snare, and get a little bit of a different sound. So even more so, when I have 2 on here, it's controlling it even more. So with just having 1 might sound great for you. If you want to do 2, put 2 on there. If you want to put the whole pack on there, go for it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my buddy come over here and have him play on it. And it's his first time kind of trying him out, and we'll see what he says.
I'm going to try for the first time. I haven't had the opportunity too much to try this product out yet, but I'm going to play this snare drum without the drum tack on it and give you a little sample of what it sounds like. Very ringy, and now let's try it with the drum tack on. Gonna place it at a weird spot, a little bit more in. Let's try it again. Very nice and punchy, and you can hear all the definition and the attack with having that drum tack on there.
You knocked the foam right off the wall.
Knocked the phone right off the wall.
What's up, everyone? Brady here. This is my studio. Thank you for watching this video. I'm not really a drummer as Greg and Mike are, but I've had a Brady snare for a long time, and not until today did I hear a drum tag on it. There's this stuff here that we don't speak of, but here it is without it. Okay, sounds all right. So then you put this stuff that we don't speak of on it, and okay, you know, which is what I've been doing for you know, a long time here. So then you have drum tacks. Okay, so I put the drum tack on here like so. Man, isn't that crazy, guys? Like, crazy. So, thanks for watching this video. Drum tacks, check them out. And you just clean them with a little alcohol, right? Is that what we're doing? Clean them with a little alcohol. Make sure it doesn't get drum tacks. All right, yeah. How those demonstrations were awesome, weren't they?
Done.
Gotta love it, man. Gotta love the power of technology.
Done.
That was an awesome segue.
Cool. Thank you. I pride myself on my segues. Right. You're like, wait.
Hey, I get it.
Wait.
Real
Oh,
time.
we cut. You showed
Now
some
we're
stuff,
back.
and now we're back.
Now we're back.
Here we are.
Whew. Look, I have a couple more grays popped in.
That's why I dyed the hair.
It's actually 2 weeks later.
So I always ask my guests 5 questions.
Oh man, these are great.
And Mike has already answered, so
Yeah.
and I've already answered, so really we're.
Are they always the same 5 questions?
They are always the same 5
Awesome.
questions.
I knew that actually. I watched
Oh, you
your
watched
ones.
my
I did.
podcast.
Yeah.
Huh?
Well, here you go.
So, all right. Well, what's your favorite beverage?
My favorite beverage, believe it or not, is not coffee.
It's not the turbo.
It's not a turbo coffee. That kind of keeps me running. All kidding aside, is carbonated water.
Okay.
Literally, because I'm diabetic, and I have to drink a lot of water. And make a real long story short, like you can only drink pure filtered tap water, like not tap water, but even like I got the charcoal filtered, you know, like super
The
smooth
Brita stuff and everything.
mountain
Yeah.
water from you know Ibanya or whatever. And you know what? Like
Shout out to Obama.
it's like holy crap! After a while, you can't drink water anymore. Like, and I have to drink a lot. I drink almost a gallon a day, and I found like just carbonated waters that are flavored.
Yeah.
You know, it's literally like seltzer water.
So, and you know, like if you hang out with JC, like he definitely, he's like, I gotta go to the bathroom again.
Dude,
I'm like, this
hamster
guy,
bladder, man.
he doesn't even need like Flomax or anything. He just,
Hamster bladder,
yeah,
man.
he just boom.
If there's ever a fire, we're all saved, man. No worries.
Gregory?
I'd say water helps me stay hydrated, obviously, and when you're drumming, man, it makes the world go around. So
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. If you had $5 at McDonald's, what would you buy?
Oh, $5 at McDonald's. Wow. This is have to be the current me or the old me?
Do both. How about that?
Yeah.
We'll see how your diet
the
changes.
old
We'll compare
me,
and contrast.
200. I was 297 pounds before I became diabetic. One of the reasons kids eat smart is why I was 297 pounds is because $5 there, that would have been the easiest $5 because it would have been 5 double cheeseburgers off the dollar menu. Today, it would definitely be a salad. I still do eat at McDonald's.
Yeah.
I like their salads.
Their salads are tasty.
pretty good.
And
Their iced teas are
oatmeal.
Yeah.
Oatmeal in the morning. I love their McDonald's oatmeal and a cup of coffee is like about $5.
There you go.
And even they're learning to get a little healthier.
Yeah.
You know?
Which is good.
Yeah.
The French fries. I'm not gonna lie.
The French fries.
Yeah,
Dude, the
those-
French
freedom
fries are
fries.
so
yeah,
good.
those things, man.
They are.
I do miss the French fries.
They're something else.
Sorry.
They're They're the best French fry I've
Loaded
ever had,
carbs.
and I'm a
Yeah.
potato guy, so
You're good.
it's ridiculous.
Well, no, like it's funny, you know, the things you miss when you can't eat them. Like, and it's been almost 5 years I've been diabetic, so
Man.
You can't eat-
potatoes, starches. Everybody's different. Every diabetic's a little different. Starches like rice, sugars, and fast digesting carbs, which are breads,
Yeah.
you know, and beer. Like I was a huge beer drinker. I haven't had a beer literally in five years. Now I have a little
Wow.
bit of bourbon or scotch every now and then,
Nice.
but a little. Like it's the same. Just because you can't drink, if they say you can have a little bourbon because you can't drink beer and then you drink a half bottle of bourbon, it's the same.
It just defeats the
You're just
purpose.
Same as, if not worse, than
Just canceling it out anyway.
Exactly, 12 beers.
Now this is interesting because you're my first kind of, well, I guess you're a musician, right? You play
Guitar, play
yeah.
keyboards. Yeah.
Okay, well then yeah. Well, if you could pick any one person to work with, who would it be?
Ooh.
It doesn't have to be in the music either. It could be, you know.
No, and it's funny because and this is going to be really weird because my reasons for wanting to work with him would not be because of his musicianship, but because he is a drummer. But Neil Peart, because more of his writing, and I've read literally everything that he wrote. Like he's traveled such a tough road with his wife and his daughter. You know, it's just like he's just to me is probably the epitome of I could. You know, be somebody as I get older in life and to have that kind of wisdom and to be able to portray it in the face of that kind of adversity is like, I would love to work with Neil.
He was a big traveler too, wasn't he? Like when they were on tour, he would ride bike and stuff.
Oh, he just,
Oh, wow.
big time.
Yeah.
He
That's
took
awesome.
everything, that's what I like about him, is
Yeah.
like he literally experiences everything at the most basis level.
Well, that's awesome. I feel that I would do that too, in a sense. You know, once I get to a town, go check it out a little bit.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
like, why not?
Oh, absolutely.
You're there. Why not check it out?
Exactly.
You
you know?
can't just sit in a room and look out the
Yeah.
window or whatever. You have to go out and experience everything.
Yeah.
But to be able to write about it, that's what I don't have. I'm working on right now.
Yeah.
I have a really good friend who is a published writer who she's trying to help me figure out how to start getting some of my thoughts to actually be able to sit
down
down
on
and
paper.
start.
You do
I
have
can
some good
talk,
stories.
obviously.
Yeah.
But there's one thing about dictating into something and recording your voice, or actually, when you start writing it, it's just
Yeah.
how she's explaining to me. It's a whole
It's a
different
process,
level.
man.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah, well, just in the short time that I've known you, I mean, I've heard some great stories. Speaking of great stories, you were the only person.
one.
You were the only person that I know that has met the one person that I would work with, and that would be Bill Murray.
Oh, get out of here! Really?
Yeah,
Oh, you know what? It's funny. We did talk about that at breakfast.
we
That's
did.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I'll tell you what. I've heard so many good things. Literally,
yeah.
he would be a guy that I like. Not only would want to work with, but just to hang out with. Just
Yeah.
to, because supposedly so genuine. I told you the story about.
Yeah.
Walking, he walked up literally like right in front of us. And,
Oh, yeah?
And took this lady's hot dog and took a bite out of it.
Oh, you told me that.
And then handed it back to her, and he just looked around and he goes, "Nobody's ever gonna believe you." He just walked up. It's like, it's just awesome. Like,
What
that
would
he's
you
like
do?
that.
Like
I
Bill
don't
Murray
know.
just bit my hot dog.
And
I don't
everybody
know.
goes, "Yeah, right, sure."
I don't know.
It's awesome.
If you could work with one person,
I'd like to work with Thomas Lang. He's really interesting. I love his playing. I would just love to sit back behind the kit and just experience drumming at the same time with him because he's an animal. And his
he's
playing's
probably got
phenomenal.
got a story.
The Druminator.
No.
Good. Lang is.
Yeah.
He's a tat guy, man.
I do have a story about Thomas, which proves what you just said about why you would want to work with him is because I didn't even know who he was, not being a drummer. He played them in a studio in LA. I mean, we never called him or sent him out any product to try. My phone goes off one day and I see a California number, and I normally don't ever answer my phone if I don't see a name. And it was just like one of those days. It was just a good day, and I'm like, this has got to be a good thing. It's like an 818. I was like, I know 818 drummers out in California. Maybe it's somebody that just found the product. And it was like Arnold Schwarzenegger was calling me on the phone.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I was playing your product. He goes, this is Thomas Lang, and I was playing your product, and I like it. I would like to get some more. Where can I purchase some? So I literally, like everybody I tell them, I was like, well, you can go right to our Facebook page. There's an online ordering page off to the web page, blah, 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 blah. I'm JC. I'm one of the owners. I said, if you have any questions, let me know. And he goes, as soon as I try them out, I'll call you back. It's like, awesome. And I was talking to my partner later that day, and I was like, "Oh, this drummer Thomas Lang found him out in California." And Christian literally when Christian he goes, "Who?" I go, "Thomas Lang." And I was getting I don't get annoyed, but it's like Thomas Lang. I was like, I don't know. And he swear to God, Christian literally he just looks at me and goes, I love you, Jack. He goes, that's why I love you. He goes, you have no idea who that is, do you? And I went, yeah, he's a drummer that played him out in California. And then, all kidding aside, and I got online, and it was like, he is literally one of the most coolest, nicest, go out of his way, just nicest guy in the world. That when he hears you say that, he's the kind of guy that would just call you up and say, hey, I'll be in Philadelphia for this show or whatever, come hang out.
Yeah,
DVD's helped me. So.
Him and I messaged back and forth a little while. I just hit him up and he was like,
he is.
Like, hey, what's up?
Most of the drumming community, that it seems the higher that we go up the level, most of them are literally like that.
Yeah. And that's important.
They're all like Rich and Thomas and Daniel Glass and these guys that go out of their way to help the younger drummers coming up, and it's awesome.
What's your current jammy jam?
Oh, Mink Daggers, man.
Is that what we were just listening to?
That's what we listened to, yeah.
Nice.
Those guys are good.
They're no Moxie and Rebel.
Oh, God.
But, no, and I mean, seriously, I really do. All kidding aside, that's my jam, is I like bands that are Moxie and Rebel, and Mink Daggers right now, Jorge Disguster is the drummer. And I literally met these guys at NAMM in California, and they were like the epitome of what and I'm going to be 49. It was like the Stray Cats meet the T-Birds from, the musical, the way they dress, black leather jackets, big pork chops, sideburns, but they have this raw kind of just energy, which is, I love. It's not a processed sound, which I love a lot of music that's out there right now, but I like that raw, gutsy, just rock kind of, hit you in the balls kind of, music. Good road music.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as I got the CD and I started listening to it, it's just it's just one of those things that just keeps you rocking, keeps you rolling down the road.
And awake.
Yeah.
Especially when you're driving to Nashville stuff a lot.
Amen, dude.
Throw in a disc and go.
Amen.
Repeat.
What's your current jam?
The new Between the Buried and Me album. Yeah, some of their new songs that I've gotten to hear. They're very interesting. I like the direction in which the drumming and the rest of the band's going. So, I mean, their music's... I think they're gonna have a bright future. So,
nice.
And their music's inspiring.
Yeah, they've been around. They've been around for a
while.
minute.
Yeah. You should listen to this guys. I haven't listened to anything recently.
Yeah, I definitely would recommend check it out. It's tight.
Did it just come out?
It's a new album that's going to be coming out probably.
Oh, it's not out yet.
Yeah,
okay.
About July-ish, but
nice.
Some songs out.
A couple singles out?
Yeah.
I'll check it out.
Definitely. Sure. Yeah, I think you'll enjoy it.
Man, there's a band coming out July 24th, I think their album drops. They're called Highly Suspect. And they're...
Where are they at?
I don't know.
Right.
Oh, New York City, I believe.
What?
But they're crazy.
Really?
It's like
what kind of genre? What is it?
It's like, I don't know. It's like old Soundgarden meets Cagey Elephant, Kings of Leon.
Cool.
It's pretty nuts.
I was gonna say that's a story.
Yeah,
That sounds cool.
Yeah,
that sounds really cool.
Yeah. So check them out. Highly Suspect. Yeah.
So just off the top of my head, just talking something different. If you really want to see something different, the old drummer from Everclear, Sean Winchester, started a project with a friend of theirs who plays keyboards and the bass player from Hoobastank. and it's called Something Bot Metro. You want to hear something different? It's like a jazz funk fusion. It's instrumental.
Oh wow!
Ooh.
It's just
all mixed together in a
yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool, yeah.
Like they just did a big thing at the Musicians Institute, like for a bunch of their graduate students, just on this whole DJ drumming kind of phase. Like instead of the DJ, they incorporated more of a tighter rhythm section with the bass player, but they threw the keys in, and the keyboard player just literally kind of brings it all together, and it's crazy. It's so kind of frenetic, but it's it's wild.
That's
it's really
awesome.
wild.
Does sound cool.
Check it out.
I'm gonna check it out.
So, last question: how do you like your women?
Ooh.
I think that's what I said. Ooh.
I was just gonna say, well, let's see. I've been married 23 years, redhead, from half Hungarian, half Irish. I have 5 girls. I have 2 boys, so we have 7 total.
Wow.
So I like them distant, not crowding me too much. No, it's like all kidding aside, my wife literally keeps everything literally kind of even at our house, and I wouldn't be able to do what I do without having her taking care of the family. And
That's awesome.
you
What's
know,
what's it like having like 6 women around though? Like,
dude. And well,
Dude.
and both dogs are female. My oldest daughter is at Penn State. She's a junior. My second oldest is out in Oklahoma. So I have 5 kids at home right now. But it's like at times, Riley, Jacob, and I are the only 3 men in the house. Sometimes we are grossly outnumbered and just kind of keep our heads down, keep our mouths shut. Don't invite, any coup to happen where we could get banished from the island.
you're right.
Oh, man.
How about you, sir? How do you like your women?
Fun, free, but I mean, if they're not around, just play the drums. That's like
There
been
you
my
go.
girlfriend, like literally for like.
She's a
last-
drummer?
No, just the
Oh,
drum,
gotcha.
the drums itself. I mean, it's,
I'm following you.
yeah, you follow me now. It's just
Yeah.
the girl scene. It is what it is, but music.
Yeah.
Music will always be there, and that's like the savior, I think.
Yeah.
You know, and some people could run away to music and their instrument, and that could be like their wife or their husband if it's a female or male or whatever you're into. I mean, but
So you're playing in a band now, right?
yeah, at the moment.
And you're playing in a band now.
Mhm.
And are you playing in a band now?
Yeah.
And I have played in band. Why did we all get into playing in bands? Is there a one? I'm curious. What was like the one driving force that you thought, if I play in a band, this is gonna happen? We were just talking about it.
I think for me, like playing in a
Women.
band, yeah, women, please. I think for me, playing in a band really wasn't about getting out and playing for like. Actually, getting out and playing was actually for everybody else. I wanted to get out of the box of playing like in my basement and playing by myself.
just out in front of people.
And jamming and start jamming, and really trying to move people, because as jobs as drummers, like we make you dance, like that's what we do, and I think it's really important because a lot of people that come and do like your shows or whoever or ours or anybody else, you don't know what they're going through, you don't know what kind of day they're having. That's
true.
And you might do one thing that just helps them through something, no matter what it is.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like why I do what I do. It's just because, if somebody in a room full of people, every single one of those people in those rooms, they have a struggle, like each one of us, we have a struggle. We're people, we're not machines. And if we can ease people's minds and work together, I think that's the most important gift of all, is being able to share your talents. Don't keep it for yourself, ever. It's just a waste,
Sure.
It's a waste.
Sure.
What about you?
No, it's funny. You got really super deep on me there. I was kind of going for a little lighter thing, but I like that though. Well, no, seriously, I like that because that's kind of why you and I got along so well when we met.
That's why I do what I do. It's why working with kids. It's not about me.
We got into it like back in the 80s. We were literally all in my buddy's apartment just jamming.
Right.
And none of us were ever like, quote unquote, musicians that we wanted to join a band and go out and play. It was like we were just jamming, and finally was like, we we should just go see if somebody let us play at like a party or something. Like it literally started like that, and before you know it, like 3 years later, we're playing Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We're doing acoustic gigs on Sundays, and it's how I met my wife. You know, it's like it became like I had a day job in the car business, and then literally I lived in the band like all night.
Yeah.
My joke is when we were talking about women we used to always say, you know, hey, we're going to play in a band and women are going to be throwing themselves at us and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And literally I can tell you multiple stories of drunken men wanting to sing with you by 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, banging mics into our lead singer's teeth and, you know, just, that was our glory. It's like, can't handle all these women throwing us because God sent all these drunk men kind of to hang out with us. Throwing beer on you,
Spill on your pedal board and everything. Man.
Oh yeah, been there.
That's funny.
What about you? What?
I got into music, I'd say, drumming. I liked watching the expressions on people's faces when you can play, and I think like that's the biggest thing in music or entertainment is like if your audience is watching, like take them, like you said, take them away from what's really going on in their life, and if you can grab them for that one moment and just make them go, whoa, how'd you do that? Like you'll start building a new following, and
it's
then,
a release, man.
Yeah, it
it's
inspires
a release for people.
Exactly, and it's a release. I agree completely.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So.
So here we go. Mr. Host is going to answer, I guess. Me, I mean, whether it's music or me doing this or me doing voiceovers or anything, I mean, I was saying on the one cast, like I would sit in my bedroom or my garage just with like a microphone and like not even on, you know, and just like do talk-ups for like stuff and then I would like pretend that I could play guitar and stuff like that. So now I can. I don't know. I guess I just always it's those surreal moments. So like say someone will say they watched like a complete stranger. I walked up to somebody and they're like, "Hey, HodgePodgecast," and I'm like, "Yeah, you watch?
Cool.
You know
Yeah,
what?" And they know me kind of on a personal level because they've, you know, I put myself out there, but I don't know them, so it's strange. So I mean, I live for those surreal moments when like, you know, just those highs, you know, because whether it be playing a show or someone coming up and recognizing my show, this show, you know, or, you know, you introducing me to somebody, or, you know what I mean, or just being just anything.
Yeah, no,
it's those surreal moments that are just like almost out of body for me.
It does. It takes you back.
Yourself a little bit sometimes.
It is.
Yeah.
First time it happened to me was in Nashville, in an elevator, just from social media.
Oh.
And because I had a drumtac shirt on. And this girl with her parents, like, she goes, "Oh, do you work for drumtacs?" And I go, "Yeah." She goes, "Do you use them?" I go, "Every day." And she was like, "You look familiar." I go, "I'm JC." And I stuck my hand out. And when I said JC, like, she kind of went, and she goes, "You're one of the owners." I said, "Yeah." And she goes, "I see your Facebook page and Instagram." And she goes, but it was kind of like after they walked out, I was like, it just was so weird. I was like, I'm just the schlep that.
Not to mention, you're just like, man, I'm the shit. I love those moments where it's just like, yeah, that's me. I'm cool.
No, you know when I get them is when I turn the TV on and I don't know something's happening. Like the CMAs last year, Kaylee Moyer got picked by Keith Urban to play in his all-female band, It's a Man's World, which is up for Video of the Year this year at CMAs. Last CMA they did this. I'm watching with my kids. And the camera pans over her kit as when the solo of the song comes on, and there's drumtacs all over the kit. And like I had no idea it was going to happen. That's when I was like, I just went. It's like you couldn't wipe the grin off my face.
Yeah.
I was just like, damn, that just felt. It feels
good.
Feels good when you don't know it's coming and you see your product out there.
Yeah.
It's like,
Absolutely, I can only imagine.
So,
well, thanks guys for
absolutely
joining me. Mike again, and you guys for the first. I'm sure you'll be on more because.
And this was what, podcast 9?
Number 9.
And I'm gonna be on podcast 10 because I'm not gonna be able to get out of this chair.
Yeah. All right.
We'll be in the same clothes.
It's so comfy.
Make sure to follow Drumtacs on Instagram, DRUMTACS, and you have a Facebook page too, right?
Same thing. Yeah.
All
Drumtacs.
right.
Yeah.
Yep. Drumtacs.
Hashtag assume control.
Yeah.
Assume control.
That's right.
Hashtag. And then follow at HodgePodge Records on Instagram. Give us a like on Facebook. Daniel Miles and Happy Hour. We're actually going to be laying down some drum tracks maybe tonight or tomorrow or who knows what we're going to do. Yeah. And Moxie Rebel, of course, Brute in the Brain.
Yep.
All music outlets, and the video. Who I don't know who shot it, but did a pretty good job. I guess mediocre. It was all right, but that's on my page. Check that out for I Spy, and give us a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe, and I think that's it. Any
Cool.
shout outs you guys want to do or anything? No.
No, I think we're good.
No, I think
good.
we covered pretty much everything.
I think we
Thank
did.
you very much for having me.
Yeah, dude,
Oh,
thank
yes,
you.
yes.
Thank you again.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Cool.
So does Syllabus have a Facebook page?
We have a band camp at the moment. We are in the process of recording some music, so I'd say within the next month or two, we have a jam from when we first came out a couple months back, but we'll have some new stuff, and I think some people are gonna really dig what
Check
we're
it out.
gonna do.
Syllabus, Daniel
Very
Miles and
cool.
Happy Hour, Moxie and Rebel, drumtacs, Scorpio Marketing, you know all that stuff. Yes.
Cool.
So
Check it
thanks,
out.
thumbs up, subscribe. Thank
All
you
right.
very much, and
Peace.
we'll see you next time.
Ciao.